and welcome to Frostgrave Friday, episode 2 on Mac Attack 001. And let's not waste any time and get right down to it. Today, we are going to show how to get textures like this. So what tools do we need? Well, first off, we start off with angel tears. If you don't have that, then just some regular water will work. Next we have Elmer's white glue, also known as PVA. The real secret ingredient, though, is DAS clay. And this stuff is great. I'm going to show you a bunch of uses for this down the road, too. We'll need 2 containers, one for thinned down PVA or Elmer's glue, and then one for straight Elmer's glue. We're going to need a soft bristled brush. This is very important. You don't want to have a hard bristled brush. You want a very soft one. Something to cut the clay with, or to trim it, I should say. And the thinner and the longer it is, the better. Work surface, and for this is actually one of my favorite work surfaces. It is a piece of marble floor tile. It's perfectly smooth. It's like a mirror. And on top of that, we're going to get out a piece of wax paper, because that's my second favorite work surface, because I use it a lot. Our secret weapon in this entire venture is these wonderful little rolling pins. These are from greenstuffworld.com, and this one is the runic rolling pin, which gives us that sort of texture. We also have the dark ruin rolling pin, and that gives us the more sinister texture that you'll have on this crypt lid, I should say. I like to keep a bowl of water on hand along with a toothbrush to basically wash off these rolling pins if any of the clay actually adheres to the details in there. And normally between uses, I'll just stick them right in the water here and make sure that they keep them wet, and so if there's any clay on it, it doesn't dry out. Now, also from Green Stuff, they have the Cobblestone. This one will be great for Frostgrave because it's called Frozen, and it mimics frozen ground. This one I'm looking forward to a lot. This is called Pavement, but it has that Portuguese fan style paving stone layout. It's going to be really good for World War II and medieval. And this one is simply brick, and this one I'm interested in trying out on walls, and I'll delve into that another time, but I think it'll work. So basically, those are our most essential tools. So right off the bat, what we're going to do is we're going to dig into this DAS clay, and we're going to get out, oh, I nearly got ahead of myself. The other item you're going to need is these, and these are hardboard. In Europe sometimes they call them MDF. Regardless of what you call it, it's tempered, and in this instance I bevel cut them with my Microlux table saw, and I probably shouldn't have done that. I should have waited to do the bevel until after I've applied the clay on top of them, because you can see on this one there's a layer of clay and then there's the hardboard underneath. And that's what makes it work. So we're going to get out a chunk of our DAS clay, and then before we forget and wander off, we're going to wrap that desk clay back up with a damp towel and reseal it inside of our bag, because this stuff will dry out very, very quickly, especially when you're not paying attention to it. Alright, so there we go. So now, oh, another tool we need. This is a rolling pin that I basically made out of a section of PVC. So that's necessary. Now, as you're flattening this stuff out, there's two ways to approach this. You can simply lay it down and on the work surface and roll it like this, getting it out to the approximate area that you're going to need for the coffin lid. But there's also another route to go. And at this juncture, we're going to go over to the shaky cam. There's another tool that you can utilize, and this is a Makin's clay roller. And this helps to really get a uniform thickness to the clay. So there you go. So now that we have the clay, the thickness that we need to work a little bit more quickly. So we take some white glue and we put it in there. Take another little bit. This is going to be the diluted white glue. Again, angel tears if you have them, or just regular water. Always good to have paper towels on hand. So what we're going to do first off is we're going to take our straight white glue and then we're just going to brush it onto the top surface of this hardboard, I should say. Doggone you Europeans, you got me saying MDF now. Alright, so we just set that brush down. Actually, we can sort of mix up that a little bit. And then all we do is we take this, lay it right over the top of that, and then just gently use the rolling pin just so that we get the outline of where that is. And let's do the dark room ones, because I like that one. Now, before I put it on the clay, this is really important, I dry off the rolling pin with the texture surface on it. I don't want to get water on this before I absolutely have to. So we're just going to start out here, and then we're just going to roll it forward. And that's what you get. And then we take the trimmer and we just come in, clip that, clip that. Alright, so we're able to peel all that back. Okay. Now, so the watered down white glue we're going to use to help seal this piece. And we're just going to go across it gently. We're not trying to We're just trying to get the white glue on it because the white glue will set up and make the surface very, very hard, so it retains its, well, it's much harder than it would normally be just as clay. So that's all there is to that. So that one's done. Now, fortunately, I got some glue on this portion of the clay. So what I'm going to want to do is I'm going to want to trim that away because I really don't want that going back through the roller over there. So we'll just dump that guy right down there. Okay, so we'll do another one. That guy had a little bit too. Alright, so we're just going to pile those back on. Fold it over. That should be pretty good. Again. Now I'm not going to move that at all. I'm going to let that sit and cure. And so there again we have our hardboard. Take our straight glue, just like first time through. Apply it. Stick that back like that. And we're going to drop this over the top of that. Gently roll that just so that we get an idea of where the edges are. Alright, since we've done this guy, and I should just put him back, let's just do the standard runic one. And if these things were perfect, they would have little handles on the ends of them so that you could roll them out better, but they don't. So I've been thinking about trying to modify one and see if I can come up with something much more workable. Again, we just trim this off. Now, once this is cured, what I'm going to do is I'll run it through the table saw again, once more at 30-degree bevel cut, and so that will take care of any overhang from the clay. You could also use a Dremel tool. I think a Dremel tool would work perfectly fine. I haven't tried it, but definitely my table saw. And this is a Microlux table saw, so it's much smaller than your standard table saws. I would not suggest running anything this small through a full-sized table saw. That would be disastrous. Again, the diluted white glue over the top to seal it up. Oh, there we go. All right. Well, that takes care of that. I'll go ahead and finish up the rest of these, and we'll assemble up the rest of the crypts. So next time we will go ahead and we will proceed with painting up these crypts, along with, I should have the mausoleum completed, well, at least assembled and ready for painting.